Do you know, friends, that ChatGPT is an OpenAI cutting-edge tool which was launched in 2022, and it just gained 1 million users in 1 month compared to Netflix 3.5 years and Instagram 2.5 months. Now, if you want to learn more about how ChatGPT can be used to learn ReactJS, then watch this video till the end. But before that, I request you guys that do not forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. So let's start the session. If you are looking to get certified as an AI or ML engineer, then hey there, you are at the right place. So let us take a tour to know what Simplilearn's postgraduate program in generative AI and machine learning has for you. You are going to earn a certificate of completion from IHub Divya Sampark, IIT Roorkee. So you are going to go by IIT Roorkee curriculum, and the session will be online. And it will be taken by industry experts. You are going to get masterclass delivered by faculties from premier institutes like IITs and NITs. You are going to gain exposure to the latest AI advancements such as generative AI, prompt engineering, and ChatGPT. You are going to have a dedicated live project training for crucial topics in generative AI. You are also going to get opportunity to attend a 2-day campus immersion program by iHub Divya Sampark at IIT Roorkee. Certificates will be available for IBM courses and industry masterclasses by IBM expert. You are going to get exclusive hackathons and Ask Me Anything sessions by IBM. Simplilearn's job assistance is also going to help you to get noticed by top hiring companies. You will work on 25 plus hands-on industry relevant projects and 3 industry-oriented capstone projects. And you are going to build your expertise in 20 plus tools and techniques with seamless access to integrated labs. Hurry up and enroll now. Find the course link in the description box. So guys, let's start with what is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an advanced AI-powered natural language processing tool designed for engaging in human-like conversation and also performing variety of tasks. It can provide answers to questions and with help activities like crafting emails and even generating code in different programming language. So guys, let us navigate to ChatGPT. So first, go to openai.com. Now, here is your OpenAI, and in this, we'll get ChatGPT. So as you can see all over here, we have a login button. Just right click on this. As you can see all over here, in order to log in from this, you can continue with Google, Microsoft account, or an Apple account. So I would prefer going with Google account. So just right click on this, and my ChatGPT is gonna get just opened. Now, you can also use ChatGPT to generate dummy data or write unit test and translate text or code from one language to other. Let me show you here. So suppose I write all over here, write a Python code for Fibonacci series. So as you can see, I have written the prompt all over here. Now we are going to get a result for the Fibonacci series. So I'm just gonna say, copy the same code and say, translate this code in Java. So as you can see, the above code is going to get translated in Java. So this is the beauty of ChatGPT. Let me also show you something else. For development purposes, guys, you can also use ChatGPT to create dummy data. So suppose I write a prompt something like this. Hey ChatGPT, can you provide me a dummy data for my hotel's website? Okay. So as you can see all over here, I'm going to get a particular dummy data for our hotels. So as you can see all over here, the given code generated is the dummy data. Now, as you can see, what are the parameters? So it's hotels, there is an ID, there is a name, description, location, rating, image, room. Okay. Now this is a special quality of ChatGPT. It's very effective. Now, suppose I have to write a unit test. So let me show you also that. So if I say, hey ChatGPT, can you write unit test check login button for my React component. So now I know it's going to give a generic code, but that's also very useful. So as you can see all over here, so it has given a demo. Suppose all over here there is a login button. Okay. Now for that login button, in which where you are clicking it, and after clicking it becomes a login. Okay. That's basically a login button. So in order to check this functionality, how we can write it? We can write unit test with a library called Jest, which is a React testing library. So all over here, we can say we have render and fire event from the library testing. Then we are importing the login button, and inside that we are rendering the login button, and as an arrow function has been passed all over here. Inside this you can see mock on click or const get by id. Suppose you are not able to understand certain part of the code. ChatGPT is even helpful in that scenario. So suppose if I say, what is this? Okay, can you explain me this line of code? Okay, so let us ask ChatGPT, please explain this code line by line. Even in that scenario, in order to understand how it's working, ChatGPT is going to explain you line by line. I hope so guys, you would have got a brief idea regarding ChatGPT. Now let's move on and understand about how ChatGPT is helpful with React. Now guys, I know that ChatGPT can be a very helpful resource while learning React.js. Let me show you how. So as you can see, when React combines with ChatGPT, your development becomes very smoother. So there are certain functionalities. What are the first one? You get a chance for interactive question and answers. You can engage in Q&A session with ChatGPT to clarify any doubts you may have. For instance, you can ask about React components, state, props, or the virtual DOM, and any question if you are feeling any doubt or difficulty. Next thing is, you get code exam. You can request code snippets for simple React.js applications. You can ask for examples for creating components, handling states, and using props. You can discuss the code with ChatGPT to understand the logic behind it. Next, you get the debugging tips. If I talk about debugging tips, if you encounter any issues or error while coding, you can describe the problem to ChatGPT and ask the debugging tips. This interactive debugging approach can provide insights into problem solving. Next is your documentation. ChatGPT is very helpful in documentation. You can use ChatGPT to guide you through React.js documentation. Ask for explanation on specific concepts, methods, or features that you find challenging. Now let's move on and understand some hands-on thing how we can implement ChatGPT in our React.js development. Now guys, let's move on and understand how we can use ChatGPT to learn React.js. So you can ask certain prompts, something like this, the first one. Let us try to get an outline for the React.js tutorial. So for the same, you can go on the ChatGPT and type, give me the outline for the React.js tutorial. Now we will wait for ChatGPT to answer that prompt. So guys, as you can see all over here, ChatGPT has given a proper roadmap for our learning. So starting from introduction to React.js, then what is React.js, why to use React.js, React.js features and advantages. Then is setting up a development environments. Then comes React components, then JSX, handling events in React, state management, React lifecycle methods, conditional rendering, list and keys, forms in React, React router, state management. So you can see there are a couple of things more. Now let us go to our second prompt and let us see how we can set up our development environment. Now our second prompt will be how we are going to set up our development environment. So let us write the prompt. Hey GPT, So guys, I have said that, hey GPT, can you guide me how to set up development environment in VS Code? So as you can see, the steps have come up. First of all, install the Visual Studio Code. So just right click on the next one, okay, and here install VS Code. So we typed out the first thing. So as you can see, we can download our text editor from here. Now what's the next step? Install npm and node. Okay, so for installing the node, what you can do, so here's given the official website. Just right click on this one. So you can download your Node.js from here. Now the third step comes up, creating a React app. So let me show you guys. So as you can see, I have downloaded my text editor and also I have downloaded Node.js. Now let us go at file and create a new file. And let us name it as index.js. Now go to the terminal and type new terminal. And here, now we are going to copy this thing. So let us copy and let us go to our VS Code. Okay. And here, just paste that command. So as you can see guys, our React application is starting to set up. Now, what's the next command? Now, the next step is cd my React app. So let us go to our VS Code and type the same. So let us go to our designated folder by typing cd my app. Okay, there are some errors coming up. Let us see what are the errors. Okay, so as you can see, let us see the folder structure first. Okay. Okay, now we have easily navigated to my React app. Okay, now let us type the final thing that is running the React application, that is npm start. So all over here, go to the terminal and type the same. So this is going to start our React application. So as you can see guys, with the help of ChatGPT, we have easily run our React application. And let me show you the demo part. Since our server is running up, and here our React application will get loaded. So congratulations guys, we have done it. The first step is setting up our development environment. Let us see now what holds the next. The third thing is we have to ask ChatGPT what are components in React. So let us see whether ChatGPT can answer our queries or not. So we have gone to our ChatGPT and let us ask what are components in React. So as you can see guys, ChatGPT has answered our query. It says that in React, a component is self-contained reusable piece of code that represents a part of user interface. Components are like building blocks of a React application and they can be thought of a custom reusable HTML elements. React applications are typically structured as tree of components. So it says that what component is, it's a part of the user interface that is kind of reusable piece of code. So here there are two types of components. The first one is functional component. So what are functional components? So they are also known as the stateless components, which are defined as JavaScript functions. They receive props, which are also known as properties, as arguments, and they return the React elements. It is also used for simple UI components that don't need to manage state or lifecycle method. For example, function welcome, the props is passed and we are returning an h1 tag with hello, and for the name we are typing props.name. Got it? Something like this is called functional component. Now if you see the class components, so in JavaScript, if you have studied about classes, it's something similar to that. They are also known as stateful component, defined in ES6 classes, and it extends from React.component. They can have state and lifecycle methods, and they are basically used for more complex UI components that need to manage internal state or respond to lifecycle events. So suppose I'm not able to understand this line. So let us ask ChatGPT to explain more. Hey GPT, So we have asked GPT, what do you mean by used for more complex UI components that need to manage internal state or respond to lifecycle events? So it says that managing internal state is like class component have the ability to have internal state. And what does state means? State represents the data that a component maintains, and it can change over the time. For example, in a form component, you might have an internal state to track user input or a counter component, and it might have a state to keep track of a count. So as you can see all over here, suppose here we have class counter and it extends the React component. Here you have constructor, you have super, and here you have said this dot state equals to 0. Here count is 0. Then you are incrementing your count by saying this dot state count and this dot state count plus 1. So basically here you are increasing the state of the count by 1. Now you are rendering your component by returning the count. This dot state of count means here you are returning the current state of the count. And on button on click, this increments to 1. So basically this is a counter button. So on clicking plus, it increases the state of the count. Suppose if it has 0, if we click, the state becomes 1. Similarly, if we click again, the state of count becomes 2. So this is what about managing internal states. I hope so you would have got brief idea regarding this. Now respond to lifecycle event. What are lifecycle events? React class components have lifecycle that consist of different phases, such as mounting, updating, and unmounting. So basically it's telling about mounting, updating, and unmounting, which are life cycle of a React. Now here you can see, for example, it has given component did mount or component will mount. So what are these things? So let us type all over here. So guys, as you can see all over here, while reading this, if I'm getting doubt anywhere, I'm just re-asking a Q&A type of thing with the GPT. So as you can see, it's a very effective way for learning ReactJS. Now let us see what is next. Now we have completed what are components in React. And finally comes to our last topic, that is understanding states in React. Now let us ask GPT, what are states in React? So guys, I have asked GPT, what are states in React? And GPT has given us this answer. In React, the term state refers to an object that represents the current condition of a data of a component. The state of a component can change over a time. When it does, React re-renders that component to reflect those changes in the user interface. It's very understandable what it's trying to say. So now the second thing comes up, how you are going to declare your state. State is declared inside the component using useStateHook, okay, and constructor method for class component. Very simple guys. Suppose here for counter, I'm trying to put about state as a useState. So for example, const count, set count, and here I have set the state of count as 0. Now on the paragraph, I have shown the count, and on a button on click, this count state has been increased to 1. So this is one fundamental example how you are using the useStateHook. And what are basically states? And similarly in the class components, how it's done. So basically your class is extending the React component. You have declared constructor which is receiving the props. Then you are doing super for this props and you have put the state for this count as 0. Now on a paragraph, you are representing the state of the count which is 0 right now. So on button on click, the state of this count is going to get increased by 1. It is very simple. Now the second comes up, set state. Now the set state function, which is a kind of a useStateHook, it is a kind of an updater function for our functional components. And it is basically used to update the state. Suppose in this piece of code we have const count, set count, which is equals to useState 0. And here this dot state, where I'm putting this dot state count plus 1. So this is a functional component using useState. Okay. Now this is a class component which is set up using the useState. I hope so you would have got a brief idea regarding this. So guys, you can use ChatGPT for learning ReactJS. Now it's very amazing tool and you can ask n number of questions and it's not going to get tired. With that said guys, that was all for this video. I hope so.
Success. Click the link in the description to know more. Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.